Good afternoon. Let's see. Welcome. I haven't been here for 2 weeks. Excuse me. I skipped last week because it was the great solar eclipse. I hope you got to see it in total, or at least part of it, where you are. I'm going to turn this off. I think that's kind of in my way. So welcome. It is now tax day. Last week was eclipse day. Today is tax day, and it is April 15th of 2024. So I welcome you to my live video. I had hoped to do some creating during the week and do a live for skipping last Monday, but somehow it didn't happen. I had to do some cleaning here in my basement and sort things out that are being retired, things that are being carried over. It's just my mess. It's a hot mess down here. So anyway, I decided what I wanted to do today. I'm going to wait about another minute to see if anybody hops on. So I would love if you would leave me a comment or a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I go live on Mondays at 3:30, and that's Eastern time. And I try to create some fun things for you to see, and maybe you've seen them elsewhere, or maybe I put a little twist on something. But anyway, I welcome you. So I'm going to pop this back up here again real quick. Pat Mayer, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am located in Northeast Ohio. And we were in the totality, the path of totality last week. And I will have to tell you that it was amazing. It really was amazing. Kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because I know that it's going to be my once-in-a-lifetime. The next one won't be around for about 20 years. At least it won't be through here. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. Okay, no, but I don't see anybody's hopped on yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get started, because you can always catch the replay. And didn't mean to press that button. Let's turn that off again. So I'm going to flip you down to my desktop. And if you read the comment, should have shown up what I was doing today, something called a wow. And it's been around for a while, but it's called Black Magic. And over the years, as I've been stamping, there have been other ways to do this kind of project. So this is the one that's most recent, most current that I have seen. Can be a little messy. A while ago, I had to go up and really wash my hands and get a lot of the ink off, but I've got a little bit better way to eliminate that when I show you what I'm going to do today. So hold one sec. I need to take a sip of some soda here. Thank you. Once I start talking, then it gets a little bit dry. So today I am using the Wild Ferns stamp set. It has dies to go with it as well, and also the Fern 3D embossing folder. So let's get it out of the glare here. And it is pretty cool. I love it. But this is a technique that you can do with any embossing folder. Any embossing folder. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. I am going to be using a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. I better zoom out for this part of it. 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. The thick basic white just gives you a nice good card base that's a little bit more substantial and stable. So I'll set that aside. I have a piece of basic black that's going to be mounted on, and this is 5 by 3 3/4. And I have a piece of basic white that is, whoops, are those the same size? I don't want them the same size. Hold on one sec here. What did I do? Basic black is 5 1/4 by 4. So 5 1/4 by 4 for this. And then the basic white is the 3 3/4 by 5. So let's put these other pieces out of the way for the moment. I'll need that for a punch. Now, when you emboss with an embossing folder, whether you're using colored paper to make it background on your card, you just don't even think about what happens on the other side. And that's what we're going to focus on today, the other side of the embossing folder when it's embossed. So let me pull my Stampin' Cut and Emboss over here. And this is the big machine. And to emboss a 3D, which means it's giving you a deeper impression on the embossing folder, on the paper, you need a plate 1 and a plate 4. And then your embossing folder is sandwiched with your paper in the middle. And the nice thing about our embossing folders is there's this sweet little line down here at the bottom that makes sure it's straight. Now with these ferns, it probably wouldn't make any difference if you got it in a little bit wonky or a little bit crooked, but it would with some because you want them to be straight. So that goes on plate 1. I'm going to put plate 4 on here and roll that through. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, it makes a little click at the end. Now here's the part to really pay close attention to. Let's take that out of there, put our plates away. And when I take this out of here, this is the part that you normally just take out and do what you want to do with. We're going to turn this over. Okay? We want the debossed side. So turn this over. All right? Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And move this up. And right now you really can't see much of anything. I'll try to hold it up to the camera as I get going. And I have, since ferns are on the green side, we have a lot of greens in our color palette. So I've got some lemon lime twist, granny apple green, I'm not sure I'm going to use that one, old olive, garden green, shaded spruce. I've got mossy meadow over here because I'm going to use that to stamp a tag. And I'm going to use the same green blending brush here and just tap it off each time. And the greens can blend a little bit. And I'm only going to go into the small corner. Okay, so let's move that away because we'll be using that in a bit. Okay, let's start with a lighter color. Let's start with the lemon lime twist. And you don't want to brush really hard. You just want to, I'm going to do tap, 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 kind of tap off here, and just lightly go over those ferns. Now I'm going to be using a multitude of colors here, so I don't want all of that in one place. Okay. So let's get some of that off of there and go to, let's go to Old Olive. One of my favorite go-to greens for just about anything. And with this one, It's not going to make any difference if I overlap the greens on here at all. Where I'll show you a couple of the other cards that I did with a different embossing folder that I think you'll really like. Okay. Let's do some garden green. Just kind of tap some of that surface ink off of there. Oops, let's get back in the screen here. So it doesn't look very pretty right now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish with the garden green. Okay, so now here is the magic. The magic and the messy part. But it is fun messy. What is stamping without getting a little bit messy? But as I said, I've got a little trick for you. Okay, I've got a piece of computer paper that you can actually see what I did on the other side with a different color palette. So to start off, I'm just going to leave it like this. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. And now you take a Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. Turn it upside down. And I'm just going to fold this paper over so that it will secure this and also give me some control over this. And start coloring in. The green stays there. And the black goes down. Now I'm going to give that a little bit more color. Okay, and just show you what that looks like so far. Now there's still some white there that I want to get out. And it just makes a pretty amazing card. Let's see here. So the green that I colored in stayed there. Now that one I probably got not enough color on. Hello, Rose. It's always okay to be late. We're doing a black magic card here. So to kind of fill you in, I don't know if any others are watching or from where and just haven't made a comment. You emboss the cardstock and then turn it over and do coloring. Now, the greens, I probably could have made them a little bit darker, but it's still pretty dramatic. And then I'll show you some others that I did. Okay, I can zoom out a little bit now. Zoom out. Okay. But you still get that effect of the color on the green. And when I show you the others, I think you'll see what I mean. I was just being very light on that. But it's still pretty. I like it. And then that's going to go on this piece of basic black. It is so fast and easy, and it makes for a wow card. And my hands stayed relatively clean. They were really a mess early because you can see all this black on here. That would have been on my hands. Okay, let's add this. I mean, this can be like a 5 or less than 10-minute card. But wait till you see the colors that I did on the other. I'm going to add some black twine. And this is from the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. Tie a bow. Now the sentiments in the Wild Fern stamp set are just lovely. This could be a good card for masculine, sending birthday wishes or get well wishes, but wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. We've got a nice thank you, heartfelt condolences. It's great for a sympathy card. You are greatly appreciated, and here's to new beginnings. I've already stamped with Mossy Meadow and did the wishing you well today, tomorrow, and every day that follows. And I added this really nice little background, looks like linen, if you can see that. Oop, there we go. And added that to the back of that. And let's see, let's make this bow a little bit bigger because it's really not going to be showing as a bow. And I'm going to put that here. There we go. Let's add some. Actually, I had stamped on the other side of this, so I'm using the other side. I will have to look that up and let you know what that Wild Fern set is. Because right now, so many things are new, carrying over. Let's see, let's put this back here. So I can text that to you later. Let's see, I know. That was my plan. Put that on with adhesive and put the tag on with dimensionals. Because that bumps it up just enough that it would look funny on the card. Let's see, let's put that there. Offset it a little bit. And trim that off just a tad. So that is that. Let me, I'm going to do something else that I'm going to pull in some other ink pads and show you before I show you my other samples. And this is the one for the Xenia. And I did something with the Xenia a couple weeks ago. I believe it is on the online exclusives. And anytime you want something out of the online exclusives and you want to order just through me, it's fine. Just use your computer, go there and look, and there's my actual patmayer.stampinup.net. And you don't really need to eventually you're going to need to create an account, but I will talk about that when that actually happens. For security reasons, Stampin' Up! Is kind of changing their procedures coming up, probably maybe beginning of next year, but it may be sooner. I don't know. But it's something that I will definitely share with you when that time comes. Find what you want to order, and then just let me know, just like we've always done. Okay, let's go back to this again. And I'm not going to bring the cut and emboss machine back over here again, but I will run this through. And this is the key, this is the trick. Take it out of the embossing folder, and you want to run it through so that this Stampin' Up! Logo is on the top, and that will give you the embossed side. This is embossed. This is debossed. They both look great. They both look great, and a lot of embossing folders will look great on both sides. But for this technique, we want to use this side. So I want to make sure that doesn't get flipped over. And let me grab other ink pads. And this is one of our new ones, Petunia Pop. It is so cool. I'm not going to use it on this, but I am going to use Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Pumpkin Pie, and Highland Heather. Now, where did I get those colors? I got those colors from the back of the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. And the last time I used the Zinnia set, I didn't have this paper, which, like, I can't believe I didn't order it. But this is where all these cool colors are. So let's grab some blending brushes here. Move stuff out of the way. And this, I believe, is the Blackberry Bliss. Yes. Now on these darker colors, make sure you get some of that darkness off. I didn't on one of my samples, and it was a little bit too much. So I want that to be kind of light here. And let's go over here. And let's pick up some Pumpkin Pie. There are a lot of orange zinnias. Again, tap that off. And you just want to lightly go over those flowers. Now, this is something you can also do with blends if you want to, but this is something that is quick and easy, uses your ink pads, uses your blending brushes, or you can use a sponge dauber if you like. But I just find this one an easier way to do it. Using the blends does take a little bit more time. So here we've got some Highland Heather. Tamp that off. I'll have to get some green in there pretty quick. And then we need some Berry Burst. I'm going to close these up. And here's our berry burst. Kind of have to hold this up to the light to see where those flowers actually are. Okay. Stampin' Up! Has a color wheel in the catalog. If you're seeing things online about a color wheel, let's see, what green shall I use? I think I use garden green. People who went to a recent Stampin' Up! Event, it was held in the United States, it was held in Houston, and I couldn't go. It was too soon after my trip, my cruise. And they got that as an exclusive gift, and it is not even available to the rest of us. So the color wheel, you can't move it, of course, is shown in the new catalog, which you should be getting soon. And we also have a color coach, which is, I can link that to you and show you how you can print that off if you want to. And it's just little color swatches, but it's not a wheel. But the new catalog does have several pages of color theory and how colors go together. We know we have primary colors, secondary colors, colors that are next to each other, and the way they can go together and match or coordinate. And we know that Stampin' Up! Has always had good color coordination. That's why we love it so much. So saying that, people have been begging and begging and begging for the color wheel that the people who went to the event got. Sadly, that was an exclusive product just for them. This one needs a small green. There we go. You know, we've got the two sizes of blending brushes, and the big are the ones we had first, and they're great, but sometimes you need these little ones to get into these smaller areas. Boy, I'm hearing people mowing their lawns outside after all that rain. And I think I got a new little lawn guy this year, and he is kind of behind. So we need some spring cleanup going and get that lawn mowed because that grass is growing. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this. All right. Now we're going to pull in this black Memento ink again. Bring in our other piece of paper and start the magic. Now, on first glance, just doing a little circular motion on that really makes the color pop. But if you go in further, let's zoom in. Okay, but if you get more, let's get that in there, more pressure on that and get the total black background, it really, really stands out. So this card I probably will not finish, but I'll show you the other samples that I have that I've been working on today. Let's see, a little bit more down here. So, whoa, whoop. Isn't that pretty? All right, so I will finish that card at some point, but let me show you the samples. And yep, I still have ink on my fingers, but not nearly what I had before. Oh my goodness, it was a mess. Okay, so here's the one that I just did with the ferns. Here's this. And here are a couple other cards that are complete. Oh, I sure miss that old color wheel too. Wish I was creative enough to figure it out on my own. This was the first one I did, and I didn't bring in any orange. So I think the orange really makes it pop a little bit. I just used the Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, and Highland Heather on this one. And then I cut it at an angle, added Happy Birthday from the other new online exclusive, forget the name of that set. It's here somewhere. The Slightly Scripted, I think it is. Okay, so that's that one. This is my first one that I did with the ferns. And I think I emphasized the green a little bit more. And this one is just a piece of my long paper that I save when I trim cardstock. A million thanks. It needs a little bit more with maybe some embellishment. But again, these make nice masculine cards. And then here is one more that I did where I added the orange. This is the one I just did, and this is the other one with the orange, and a thank you so much. So you just add a tag to that, mount it on a card base, and you're good to go. These were a couple others that I used. Okay, here was one where I did the embossing on, and this is just embossed. I embossed the ferns on Pebble Path, and then just ran some black over it. But then this is the debossed side. A million thanks. That's a good masculine card as well. And then this one is the cane weave that I was just playing around with. And this is basic white. It was just a scrap of basic white. And I lightly went over that with Pebbled Path. And then the black, and again, that's the debossed side. And then this one was a scrap I played around with on the other side. I didn't like that. And this is very vanilla. And it was the kind of the same thing. But the vanilla made it a little bit more muted. So again, I was just playing. This was a play day. And then I got ready to do the video and came up with this one. So I hope you enjoy this. I'll be back again next week. I have my idea already, which is what I actually was going to do today. Let's go back to my face. And I got hung up and had some other distractions, and I had played around with this technique a few weeks ago and knew that it was quick, easy, and would create a wow for you. One more to show that I did some other embossing on it. And I think this was the very first one that I did. And then I took a Versamark pad and went over it and added some gold embossing powder just to play and see how that was going to work out. And that was with, I don't remember the name of that embossing folder. It's so crazy. Not zooming out like I wanted to. Okay, not working. So it's just a fun technique. Try it, let me know how you do. and you can embellish it, add a tag, add some ribbon. It's awesome. So that's what I have for you today. And this was so much fun. And oh, you kind of get hooked on these things and then you don't know where to stop. So it's time to stop. Put my stuff away, clean up my mess. That's my problem, is cleaning up my mess when I'm done. But Rose, I will let you know on the wild fern bundle and information on that. So stay tuned, and I know I owe you a thank you card and a little card for your loyalty and your recent order. So I will get that off to you, and maybe it'll be one of these. So take care. Have a great rest of the week. Weather's picking up a little bit here, and I think spring is finally here to stay. So take care. Bye-bye.